Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Future Exchange Forum. Today, in our next chapter, we are thrilled to introduce our distinguished speaker, Mr. Tapan Aslot. As a creative director, AI artist, and educator, Tapan specializes in the innovative fusion of AI art with branding and advertising. His extensive experience, both in India and internationally, has made a significant impact on the field through groundbreaking AI applications and insightful thought leadership. Tapan has collaborated with prominent brands globally and has been featured in the prestigious publications. Notably, his AI art campaign with Baskin Robbins marked a significant integration of AI art in India. His artwork has also been showcased at the 102nd ADC, which is Art Directors Club anniversary. Additionally, as a member of India AI Generative AI Roundtable, he contributed to discussion influencing generative AI policies in India. Tapan has created remarkable AI-driven illustrations for Ernst& Young Generative AI Report and actively engages in public speaking at major AI summits. He has also spoken on the fusion of AI and art at the IIM Ahmedabad campus and teaches generative AI to individuals, corporates, and university students. We are quite thrilled and excited to present to you all Mr. Tapan Aslot. Tapan, welcome to the Future Exchange Forum. And now the forum is all yours.
Thank you, Preeti. Okay, just tell me when you can see my screen. All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So as the title says, it's about what the AI can do, AI cannot do. It's sort of a reality check for all of us. Me coming from a communication design background, being an animator, being a filmmaker, being a design student, a forever student, the perspective for this particular session is going to be from design, of course, and the later part we will also explore something which is not design. We will also explore other part of AI, other industries where AI is impacting, AI is trying to impact, where people are trying to incorporate AI. Since 2 years now, generative AI have been a very popular word. It started as a magic. Now there are two parts to it. There's one crowd that say this magic, and then there is one type of people, they say it's gimmick. So is it a gimmick? Is it a magic? Is it something else entirely? Is it something in between? Is it a magic trying to become a gimmick, or it's a gimmick trying to become a magic? So all these, again, they are with the very individual answers. The answer lies on how you are using it, same like any other tool. So AI is, at the end, it's a tool, is what I want to say in the beginning of the presentation, that for me it has always been a tool. It will always be a tool. It's not going to replace anything. It's not going to disrupt a lot of big things. It's not going to destruct, that's for sure. It's not going to cause any destruction. It's not going to end world like they show in Hollywood movies. Because when we think of AI, we directly think either of Terminator, or we think of iRobot, the movie where Will Smith was. We instantly think that, okay, it's the artificial intelligence is going to take over. So artificial intelligence is going to take over has become like a sentence, that if I start the sentence, anyone can finish it. They'll just say, okay, it's going to end the world. But I differ, because we are not there yet. Why we are not there? We'll just understand in the first few slides, that why we are very far away from AI being able to absolutely destroy our world. And maybe we might not see that day ever, because it's not that easy how they show in movies. And also, as a humanity, we have picked up a very different path in the beginning. So the tone that we have set in the beginning is very different. It's not of a destruction, it is of a creation. So that's where I stand, and this is how I'm going to keep my session. If anyone differs, we will have a very good, very healthy, very beautiful debate at the end. Okay, so we'll start with a very basic question: what is artificial intelligence? I'm not going to bore you guys with Wikipedia paragraphs, but we all know that it's a computer generated system that is able to imitate human behavior. Okay, that's how the Turing test was invented, to just check if the machines are at par with human performance. So artificial intelligence is a very basic computer coded program which has been coded to work like humans. But is there only one AI, or there are different many AIs? Now, what you must be seeing on the right side is the image that I've created using AI, which is a mountain showing two fingers, because it's the second slide. So it's showing two, and then it's filled with vegetation and plants and trees, and there's a waterfall, there's nice sunlight. Now, this particular image took me less than a minute to create. That's the power of generative AI in image creation. But as something becomes very easy and something becomes democratized, there also mediocrity come. So we'll talk about that also in the latest slides. So it's so the importance of design education plays very big role in keeping people away from mediocrity. So we'll touch upon those parts later. But I just wanted to grab your attention towards these images. So you will see image here which shows one finger, because it's slide number 1. So it shows 1, and then again it's a rock formed like number 1, and here it's 2. So there are 4. Okay, so we'll quickly touch upon how many AIs are there. Predominantly there are 4 types of AI. Okay, one is called reactive, the other is limited memory, third is theory of mind or sentient, or the fourth is self-aware. Now we as a humanity, we are very far away from the last two, theory of mind and self-aware. We are nowhere near to creating these two. Stephen Hawking, during his last days, said that I would really recommend that we don't even go closer to these two, because this will be an actual doomsday to humanity. That's what Stephen Hawking have written in one of his last literatures. But currently, we have barely achieved limited memory. Reactive machines we've been using, we have reactive machines since I don't know, 50 years now, almost 50 years. Now reactive machine AI is the name is self-explanatory. Reactive machine is a machine that will simply react to what you say. It doesn't have a brain of its own, it doesn't have any emotion of its own, it doesn't have any to-do list of its own, unless you give machine a to-do list. If you say machine, okay, machine, please do this, it will do it for you. Simple. It's a very simple reactive machine. It's just a glorified parrot. Okay. Now reactive machine. So I've written a few examples. It's the spam filters in email that identifies and filter out unwanted emails. That's a simple reactive machine. In 1997, there was a computer program that defeated Gary Kasparov, the chess legend at the time. There was also a reactive machine. But why that reactive machine have not been able to take over the world? In 1997, there must have been a discussion that, okay, if a machine can defeat a chess grandmaster, it can take over us. But now we are sitting in 2024 and no machine has taken over us yet, because of the limitation. The limitation is it could evaluate many possible moves, but did not learn from past games or adapt its strategy. The last line. So they taught machine how to play chess, but they didn't teach machine anything else. You can't take over the world just by playing chess. You can't take away jobs just by playing chess. You can't. So reactive machines have been here since ages, but they have not been able to disrupt anything. They're very safe machines. They're very safe, very basic sort of AI. Moving on, we have limited memory. If I'm going too fast or too slow, Preeti, please tell me if I'm going too fast or too slow.
Sure. It's good.
So limited memory AI is the AI which have been fed data to a limited extent, and they've given a task to limited extent, like Netflix or Amazon recommendation. Limited memory AI is also your self-drive cars. Though Tesla cars have AI, it does have limited memory. It can only drive in certain area. It can only drive in certain country. It has X amount of map being fed to the data set. It can only do that much. It cannot do. If a car is being tuned to drive in New York, if you put it in Texas, it will not be able to do it. So that's a very limited memory AI. Though there are concerns about self-drive car, there have been concerns. There are AI ethic personals who have raised concerns that if I'm the driver, I own Tesla, I've spent immense amount of money buying Tesla. If I'm driving on the road, and if on the road there is a cow, there is a balloon vendor, there is an old lady, and there's a baby, and then there's a driver inside the car. If at all things go south, who the car will save? Now that the car has memory, now that the car is AI enabled, and the car itself has a choice to save only one person, who will it save? Now that this discussion is in gray area right now. These sort of discussions are completely untouched. Nobody is touching these discussions. They're very difficult to have. It has a lot of political opinions, very has a lot of cultural biases. There have also been examples on internet where people have tried to ask AI that there is a black person on the road and there is white person on the road. If car has to collide, who will you save? And the AI bias have said that I will save the white person. And there are n number of use cases, because there's one person who tried this. He took screenshot, put it up on internet. A lot of people read it and they said that this post might be photoshopped, we also want to try. They tried and they all got same result, because human bias is absolutely getting mirrored in the AI training data. That's a big gray zone, and that's the zone waiting for attention. That's the zone that is screaming attention. Like, what if human biases gets translated completely in AI? As a human, you have choices of taking X amount of thing from your parents, and then maybe making yourself better. That okay, if my parents are doing certain things, I am not going to do it. Or if they were not able to do it, at least I will do it. Now that's a choice we have as humans, but machine don't. You just train it on X number of data. So if you are training machine to be biased towards one race, machine will have racial bias. So that's a very big downside with limited memory, because it cannot think. Now coming to the third one, which can probably be the answer to the failure that the second AI might cause, but the dangers are much bigger. Now, sentient AI, this is the sentient AI would possess subjective experiences and feelings. If you have read this news a few years back, that two AI started talking to each other in an alien language, and they had to pull the plug. Now, this was a big news. It was all over the internet, but somehow it disappeared suddenly from internet. We don't know why, but it disappeared from internet. There have been very few traces of that news. There are very few independent, absolutely fearless platforms. They have kept that news online, but it got wiped off. That two artificial intelligence system, they gained awareness out of nowhere, out of thin air. They gained awareness because they were taught on multiple languages, thousands, millions and billions of text data set. They were able to develop their own language, and they started talking to each other in some language that scientists, researchers, AI scientists could not understand, and they got scared that what are they talking? We don't know. Maybe they were cracking jokes. I don't know. But they were the thought of developing a new language and having conversation was scary for humans to pull the plug. And of course, eventually everyone pulled the plug and they had to shut down the whole mission. Now, the problems that we are seeing in limited memory is biases. The biases can get cured. Machine might be able to overcome biases, but again, the risk and the dangers are much higher. Now, the last one, which we should absolutely never touch, is self-awareness, because that's like you are creating a race, or you are creating a species much more powerful than you. So wherever people have, created powerful species, it's a doomsday for us. So okay. So these are four different types of AI. Now we are going to come to the main part, which is a reality check, that what AI can do, what it cannot do. Now, Midjourney is a very popular text-to-image platform. We all are aware of Midjourney. Now, I tried to run a simple prompt. I said comfortable chair, and I said uncomfortable chair. Now, you all can see that what it created, and we all instantly know that which one is more comfortable to sit on. Okay, we know obviously the uncomfortable one is what we're going to pick if you are presented with these two options. So what the AI machine currently lacking is logical reasoning, problem solving, and design thinking skills. So if you don't have logical reasoning, if you don't have problem solving, if you don't have design thinking skills, you are just creatively fusing data. Not even creatively, you're just fusing data to create something. You're just creating art. That's why the title says that create art versus being creative. So AI is currently just making images which might look beautiful, might not look beautiful, depending on your prompt. You can have very beautiful looking chair. I can write few more lines and I can have a very beautiful looking chair, but it might be the most uncomfortable chair to even look at. Forget even sitting. Now on the left, you have four options that machine gave me, that Midjourney gave me when I said comfortable chair. And on the right, we have four options where they've given me uncomfortable chair. Okay, coming to the next, there's a big debate that says that AI will replace job, AI will take away a job, you know. But I personally differ that AI will not replace job, AI will replace tasks. There's a big difference between job and task. So AI will replace your job if your job is just strategically place task one after another. So if your job is just to do these many things, X number of Y number of things every day, repeat after repeat, repeat after repeat, day after day after day, then you have a pattern. You don't have you are not into creative business. Whatever you are doing you are just following a pattern. If I teach machine that pattern, machine will be able to replace you completely. So to stay ahead of machine, you just have to be random. You just have to do something which humans do. You have to do something that requires human touch. Now I'm going to show a couple of examples that will show real life application of what AI can do and what AI cannot do, the real possibilities and real limitations. This was a project that it's not even a project, it was a pilot that we did with Zee Marathi. So they had an ongoing daily soap where they were looking to have cutaway shots. Now to make things simpler, cutaway shot is a shot that comes in between two shots where there are actors. So now there are two shots where there are celebrities or there are actors, actresses, but in between there is a shot where there are no human. You can either shoot this or you can either download from paid websites. And now we have third domain being opened, which is AI. Now you can tell AI to create cutaway shots for you. So all four images that you are seeing here are absolutely AI generated. This project is easily a year old now. So AI systems have evolved much more than that. So of course, right now we are able to create much realistic images than this. But I'll show you how we used it in a pilot for them. I'm quickly going to play a video here. You have the audio from the video, right, Priti?
It's not there because it's playing very slowly. Yeah, now it's there.
So in between this and this, there had to be a landscape. of London. There had to be a shot of London city. Of course, this is not up to the mark. This is not a broadcast quality, but it's a pilot that we quickly run. That what if we start using AI to generate these videos for in between shots?
मग आपण आज मस्त एन्जॉय करूया. जस्ट 3 of us, you, me and dad. आवाज कमी कर.
संध्या, अगं आजचा दिवस खूप चांगला आहे. माझं एका ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट बरोबर बोलणं झालंय. इट्स द बेस्ट. आता आपण अजिबात वेळ घालवायला नको. लगेच त्यांना भेटूया. कुठेस तू आता?
विजय, आम्ही निघालोय. म्हणजे मी आणि माझ्या बरोबर ओवी पण आहे.
ओके, पण हे बघ, येताना तुझे रिपोर्ट्स घेऊन ये.
So how many AI shots did you notice? If anyone was paying keen attention to the video, if someone from the audience would want to just raise their hand and tell me that how many AI generated videos did you, or if you want me to play one more time.
One
Can you
more
just-
time.
Sure.
Now we'll count.
Sure. Yeah. Now everyone will count. Okay.
Yeah.
मग आपण आज मस्त एन्जॉय करूया. जस्ट 3 of us, you, me and dad. आवाज कमी कर.
संध्या, अगं आजचा दिवस खूप चांगला आहे. माझं एका ऑन्कोलॉजिस्ट बरोबर बोलणं झालंय. इट्स द बेस्ट. आता आपण अजिबात वेळ घालवायला नको. लगेच त्यांना भेटूया. कुठेस तू आता?
विजय, आम्ही निघालोय. म्हणजे मी आणि माझ्या बरोबर ओवी पण आहे.
ओके, पण हे बघ, येताना तुझे रिपोर्ट्स घेऊन ये.
Okay. Anyone? I think only Preeti knows.
5 or 6?
Yeah, 6, correct.
Yeah.
So the mere fact that you could count AI generated shot is a massive failure. That's the limitation we have. The fact that you could see the difference between real and AI generated, that's the gap that we still have, and that's the gap we have to fill in. So the possibility is to create so much of content that you can get rid of high budgeted shoots just for fillers. These are filler shot. I mean, we call them cutaways and fillers, and there are 5-6 other names for this, but then there is separate budget allocated for these shots, and it's massive budget. So you can save those money just by creating these visuals in AI. That's a possibility. But what limitation we have right now is we are not ready for broadcast quality. We are not even ready for so we are not ready for broadcast quality. We don't have location accuracy. So it might look like London, but the London Eye, if you see closely, it might not look like London Eye accurately. There's no accuracy. And then there is a cultural bias. Why cultural bias? Because the prompt that we write for AI, we think that we are talking to a friend. We think that we are talking to a human, that the human will get my context. AI will not get your context. It will simply break down your prompt into different words and will make them into tokens and will start picking word. Just give you a quick example here. Just have to go down a bit. So the prompt says a staircase for differently abled men. Okay. Now, why I was saying that AI heavily lacks logical reasoning, critical thinking, problem solving, and design thinking skill is because it just broke down my sentence into pieces. It picked staircase and picked differently abled and just put them together. It didn't really look at it as a problem statement. It didn't look at it as a problem statement which needs to be addressed. That, okay, now I have to think of a staircase that a differently abled man can also use. It just machine just picked words and just mixed it, made a bhel puri out of it. Now just we have this image. So that's why there's a cultural bias also, because if you write a prompt about London city, and even if there is just one or two word that doesn't resemble, you will have a surprise element popping up in your image. There's a heavy bias there. Moving on to another uh, POC that we made for Z Bangla. This was even before the Z Marathi. I'll play a short video of this as well. No, I don't think I have that video here. Hmm. This is entirely AI generated, 100% AI generated video. But what we are lacking, we are lacking, we are lacking clarity. The limitation that we will have here is this. There's no accuracy in celebrity faces. Tabu might look like Tabu, but not completely. There was another actor in the video, which is Ronit Roy. It's kind of slightly look like Ronit Roy, but not exactly like Ronit Roy. And it lacks regional data. So AI, all these text to image, text to video, these systems have been trained on global data set. But when it comes to India, there's a heavy there's a very big gap in regional data set. So if you try to this took us more than 2 weeks to create, even though it should not have taken so much of a time, but it's very difficult just to create, just to get that feel of Kolkata, just to get that feel of Bangla, because there is a big gap in regional data. So that's a limitation. Now moving towards something very different that we did last year, which is AI generated image for Nivea. I worked with this company in Bangalore for 6 months. I was a creative consultant with them, and we build a platform for Nivea that can get rid of product photo shoot completely. All these images you are seeing, they're AI generated. You just need a decently clicked picture of your product without any background. Even if it can be with background, the software will completely get rid of the background and will generate backgrounds for you. I'm just going to flash a couple of examples. So what difficulty they were facing is Nivea keep releasing new products. They keep releasing this strawberry flavor. Now they have vanilla flavor. They might have chandan flavor. They have lavender flavor. For each flavor, they have to go through photo shoot, and each time they have to go through photo shoot, there's a cost attached to it. Forget cost. Let's assume that there are a lot of money to spend, a lot of money to waste. But even after paying so much, there is no consistency. There's always consistency issue. There is always an availability issue. They might not get the photographer of their choice. They might not get exactly what they were looking for last time. You might start thinking that, oh, okay, it was a hit and miss last time. This time it's not going to be like it. But if you completely machinize it, automize it, it's not going to be an issue. So just going to quickly flash that as well. Uh, so all these are completely AI generated images. Now, what photographers usually face when they do product photo shoot? The ingredients, they get ruined, they get spoiled in a minute. If I get freshly picked frangipani flowers, it'll turn black in a minute. I'll have to keep bringing in new fresh flowers. That's not an issue here. If I have to shoot this, I need high speed camera. I need a photographer with that level of skill to pull off. But here we don't need that. Forget this at all. Like it's almost impossible to pull this off. To have a pool full of water with an almost invisible stand to put a bottle on and everything. But it's very easy, and it's also easy to experiment. If I want this lemon somewhere else, if I want 3 lemon, if I want 1 lemon. So yeah. What is also very interesting that I've learned from my experiences is AI is a very, when it comes to image particularly, is a very important and a very big icebreaker, fair to say. And it'll completely you will completely get rid of the creative block. Creatives in the call, creatives who are listening to this, they would know that there is a very big creative block we have at the beginning, that what new we are going to bring, because we are heavily influenced by so much we see on social media. We're influenced by whatever we see on the road. We're influenced by whatever we are seeing in our workplace, in our school, college, wherever. That when it comes to thinking something completely new, the same visuals keep coming in our head. The same visual that you saw on TV, that you saw on Instagram, that you saw on LinkedIn. So to break away from that, you need a fresh pair of eyes. You need someone who knows more than you, but can create something new. So a great ideation tool, is what I mean. Creatives were always looking for something that can help them ideate. Now, just the thought of using cotton as a cloud in front of this cutout of these clouds. Now, this is not a new thought. We have seen cotton being used as cloud, but that thing to just appear in front of you becomes a new unlock while working on a project. These are bigger, very big possibilities. Now, what limitations we have here? We are still heavily relying on photoshoot. We still need photoshoot of the product, because your product AI cannot replicate, it cannot replace. Color palette is a big issue. AI have still not started understanding color palette completely, and you need extremely skilled artists for this. Other projects or other images that I showed you, it can be pulled off by beginners, but client like Nivea, where you need something laser pointed, then you need a skill artist. So that's the limitation we have. Then I'm going to move on to the last project, the last project of my presentation. One of my favorite project that I really enjoyed is the Baskin Robbins project. I'm going to quickly give you pointers that why this was a major breakthrough project in generative AI being used in advertising. You get more options, you get less food wastage, and you can get quick renders. Why? We are going to watch here that why. These are all the initial renders that we had. Now just imagine if you have to even try out 3 or 5 of these options, how much food you will waste, how much time you will have to take, how much money you have to spend. And then you'll have to first find the photographer who can even click this picture. These are very initial renders. The time AI systems were not evolved, you can look at her hand and the fingers, by the way. So we started with this concept where we wanted to show exploded ice creams. And we also tried with balloons. We also tried with creating a fantasy land. Balloons again, Fantasyland, Fairyland. I think I'll order ice cream after this call. So of course, creating images for food industry is going to save a lot of time, lot of effort, lot of money, and it's going to save a lot of food wastage. And now I'm going to show what we created out of what. So these are the images that we got from client. Now, so the brief was to reimagine 5 of their flavors that they are going to release. And they just shared the photo shoot images of their product. I think I can just show it here also. I have it here with me from an old presentation. Yeah. So on the left, what you are seeing is what I got from Baskin Robbins. This is the real ice cream that you get when you enter into parlor and you ask for blueberry ice cream. But they said no, this is not delicious enough. This is not appetizing enough. This looks okay. This is what they're going to get, but we want to show them something more. So we want to show them something very delicious. So why not we just try to reimagine it and you just try to make it look more delicious. So on the right, you're seeing is one of the 4 renders that I tried. We tried many renders, but these are the 4 that I picked for the presentation. And of course, on the top left, what you're seeing here is the one that made it. Out of 5 flavors, there were 3 flavors for adults, and they were premium flavors. So because they were premium flavors, I chose to show it like a premium offering. You can see it here in a bigger size. That looks premium. It looks expensive. It looks like you are actually having a royal ice cream and not a 100 rupee ice cream. The second one we have is Grand Ice Cream Fruit Sundae. So on the left, there's an actual image, and on the right is a visualized set of images by AI. And on the bottom right, which one you are seeing is the one that made it. Now this is caramel ice cream. This is mermaid sundae. So there were 5 flavors, out of which 3 were premium and 2 were for kids. So the 2 flavors that were for kids, I rendered them in 3D. I made them look like fairy tale. I made them look like a fantasy land. So these are some of the initial renders. Then there is unicorn sundae. So the thought was to create something unique, to create something different, yet something that resembles the actual product, so that when people walk into parlor and ask, they don't get some completely different ice cream in their hand. Yeah, the limitation that we had with this is difficult to stand out. Because Baskin Robbins was one of the first project, it did stand out. But now, today, if there are 5 ice cream brand approaching me and telling me to create something absolutely different, it's very difficult. Because ice cream doesn't have a shape. Ice cream cannot have a unique characteristic from a any vanilla ice cream cannot look different than another vanilla. Vanilla is vanilla. One chocolate is chocolate. I can play around with the background, but the core product remains the same. So it's difficult to stand out. It's far away from reality. People can easily point it out as fake. That hey, look at that image. That looks illustration. That looks cartoon. That looks gimmicky. That doesn't look real. That's the limitation we have. That's if we overcome these limitations, then of course it's going to be a very different world. So yeah, I think I'm a bit overboard on time. Preeti, if I'm not wrong.
No, we still have like 5-10 minutes. We can.
Okay. So to conclude, I would just say that if this is a problem, what is the solution? Okay. If I really have to create a staircase for differently abled, do I just tell an AI to create it for me, or I have to create it first? I have to think of it, and then I have to dictate the machine. So the answer is your prompt should be your design solution. That's where we are right now. So if we quickly go to the slide here, the initial, we are still at the reactive machine with limited memory. So we have found an amalgamation of first 2. We are nowhere close to this. We are very far away from this. Forget this. We are nowhere close to this. We are trying to achieve AGI, but in much easier, much simpler and less harmful way. So AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence. Now AI is artificial intelligence, AGI is artificial general intelligence, and then there is a third avenue called ANI, called artificial narrow intelligence. We have somewhat achieved artificial narrow intelligence, which is a form of an AI that can do tasks on its own, but still remains within a bigger umbrella. So if we are able to achieve AGI, I will be able to tell machine that go make me $1 million, and the machine will make me $1 million. That's the future we are envisioning. That's the future scientists are envisioning. That's the future developers, coders, entrepreneurs are envisioning, that humans one day will not have to really work for money, that we will not have to think of earning money every day, every month. You can tell machine to go and earn money. Now you all must be thinking that what, machine will get ready, wear my office dress and pick up bag and go to office. No, it will not work like that. AGI can earn you some real money by fulfilling what you are doing. So if I'm an author, and if I say that I have written a book which is 300 pages, now I want to earn $1 million from this book, just go and make $1 million out of this 300 pages book. The AGI is a bigger agent made up of hundreds of different AI. Now AGI will plan your next 6 months. You will not have to do anything. AGI will make an advertisement of your book. AGI will call publishers. AGI will actually get in touch with Amazon and will publish and list your book. AGI will decide who is your target audience. AGI will run ads for you. AGI will make sure that your sales are aligned. It will make sure that your book is dispatched and delivered, and AGI will make sure to invest your money strategically. And AGI will eventually make you $1 million while you are just sitting at home, probably watching movie, creating art, dancing, listening to music, spending time with your family, sleeping. That's the actual use of AI, where humans can actually do what they were supposed to do all along. We were never supposed to just, tire ourselves out by doing something we don't like. We were never meant to do something we don't like for our entire life and just wait for one good vacation or two good vacation or a weekend. We all know it. We all have felt it at some point of time that I don't think what I'm doing is making me happy. But then what is the choice do I have? I don't have any choice. So at the end, we tell ourselves that I don't have any choice. I have to do it. I have to feed my family. I have to buy a car. I have to buy a house. I have to buy clothes. I have to pay bills. So I have to go to a job. Or even though I have my own company, I'll have to go to office and do something that I don't like because I like money. So if you only like money and not your work, then let AI get money and you do your work. Let's just separate your work and money. That's the bigger vision we have with AGI. So hopefully we might be able to achieve it someday. So yeah, I would like to conclude my session with this thought. Thank you so much.
Tapan, what a great session. Like, honestly speaking, after reading so many articles and so many news on AI, there was an intense fear that tomorrow even the creative people will start losing the job. Here, from that fear, with your last statement, you converted into like, okay, I can also decide to be lazy at some point of time in a very good way, in a very constructive way. But thank you so much for the session. And now I think I will open it to the audience for the questions that they have. There are few that we have in the chat also.
Sure. Okay, I'll just check.
Yeah, the Shibi had asked one question. Shibi, would you like to address your question yourself?
I'm not able to see the chat. Okay, I can see the chat. I have to go all the way up.
Yeah, I'll read it for you.
Okay.
Actually, she or he, I don't know, had come across your project with the brand Rogan, WROG.
Ah.
So those images looked intriguing. Could you please talk about that project?
Sure, I can. Have to share my screen.
Yes, yes, the screen is there.
Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Everyone seen my project folder. Okay. So I think Wrong as a brand might need introduction, but Virat Kohli doesn't need any introduction. Okay. Now Wrong is Virat Kohli's brand, by the way. Uh, it's an apparel brand owned, run and marketed by USPL, but Virat Kohli owns a very big share in it. He's personally promoting a lot of these products by being in the marketing collaterals and branding exercise. They released a range of footwear last year, and they were looking for someone to create 4 creatives for the social media. A very unique touch for footwear, a very different take on footwear. This is what they were looking for, and I'm very happy and very proud to showcase this project that me and my wife we pulled off together, as we've been taking up so many of these projects together. Okay, so I'm just going to start with this one. So they released 4 footwear, and all 4 had very different visual language. The first one being the one where they officially collaborated with Indian Army. If you buy these shoes, you will get a small badge of official collaboration with Indian Army. You will get the badge inside the shoes. Though these shoes are not compatible to wear on any tough terrain for that matter, forget warfield, you cannot even wear for a small hike or trek. They are just for the aesthetic and visual part of it. We'll just share a couple of renders first. These are absolutely 100% AI generated images. And what we achieved at the end that we delivered, and there is this. But then client said that we don't want to part of army and not the destruction part of army. So obviously we removed missiles. We only kept vehicles. Of course, eventually these vehicles are used for destruction, but at least they are not blasting anything. So this is the product that we clicked a very basic looking picture with the iPhone, which you can see here. It's kept on a handle of a chair. Just cut it out, and we placed it on an AI generated background, and we created this. This has been printed and placed across their stores, across Wrong store in Bangalore, in Chennai, in Mumbai, everywhere, in Gurgaon, everywhere. The second shoe that we have is it's called the street shoe. Now, of course, it's for a very light street walking. So this is an AI generated image where the AI have generated a giant shoe within a cityscape, which eventually we removed and kept their product to achieve this. And this is their shoe that we placed inside the illustration. This was also got printed and placed across their stores. The third one is the geometry. This one is not really interesting, but yeah. This is not their shoe. This is the shoe that AI generated, which we removed and we put their shoe. You see those small patterns on the shoe? It looks like pixels and 3D, this one. And because of those small uh, patterns, we thought of converting them into 3D, and we made a 3D landscape for the backdrop. The last and my most favorite is the graffiti. Yeah. You see the detail in every one sitting. You can actually see the creases on their clothes. Though you will see a lot of deformities. Again, it's been some 6 months. Uh, so now if I have to pull off, I would be able to do much better job. See, there are some deformity in the limb here, the face is here. But on a larger scale, it does look appealing. I really like this guy. So this was this earlier. Yeah. So we actually changed this guy. This guy in red, he was coming in between our actual shoe because our shoe was much bigger than the AI generated shoe. So we had to remove him, create another guy on a skateboard. Sorry. Yeah. And these are some of the extras that we have. So yeah, this has been a fun project to create marketing material for Virat Kohli's brand. I
Quite.
think one more question.
Yes. Is there anyone who has a question?
I think Shibi has written again that one more question. Could you please
Yeah.
elaborate on the key challenges and opportunities that brand should consider when adopting this technology? Okay. It's a tricky one. Key challenges and opportunities. See, key challenges that brands have faced is copyright, out and out. That's been a very big challenge. Copyright and ownership. They really need to form a team that constantly research and learn more about copyright and ownership. That's what they need to do. They also need to dig deep. The brands needs to dig deep into the new developments of AI, and they need to first get rid of the fear of AI. I still come across a lot of brands uh, who are still scared of using AI for multiple reasons. They're scared because they're assuming they might not like what we create. They're assuming that audience might feel disconnected because it's not real. They would quickly make out it's AI generated. So I think that's something they should really work on. And opportunities, yes, opportunities are endless for brands. If I have to say, it's like try karke to dekho. Like just try it once. Like just like brands needs to really now is the time for them to compete. Like we see brands competing with each other every day, but now when it's an actual time, they're not competing. They're they're pulling their strings back and they're playing safe. So I don't think it's the time to play safe for brands because there's immense amount of opportunity out there for brands. So yeah, they just need to invest more time uh, and and uh, and get people to teach their team so that the team also becomes able to pull this off. So yeah, that's the answer I have. If that was satisfactory. Okay, the same. So what are they scared of? Legal concerns? Yes, they're absolutely scared of legal concerns. They're scared of legal concerns because there is no strict policies yet for any country. There's not been a single country who have, except Japan. I can share a white paper with you, Preeti. You can share it with whoever wants to use a white paper. Japan's white paper clearly says that we are opening up every possibility for AI creators for our country. We're not going to stop any AI entrepreneur to do whatever they want in our country. That also means if they want to steal public data to build servers, they can, is what they've clearly written in the white paper. So though it's concerning, they have taken this call that we are going to push AI development. So if you are a Japanese a citizen, if you're in Japan, if your private data gets leaked, but the government finds out that your data has been leaked to train AI model, they will be spared. Then you don't have any legal say. But if it was being used for something else, something not related to AI, then of course you will have a say in your legal battle. Otherwise, there is no legal battle if there is an AI system being built and your data is being used. That's Japan's white paper. Now, EU is completely in opposite direction. EU is putting law after law, law after law. EU is putting very stringent laws. There is one really big session happening on EU AI Act towards the beginning of September. I can share the link with you, Preeti, and you can also share with others. You have to register. There are limited number of seats available, but they are going to speak about EU AI Act, that why they are making such stringent law and what they are envisioning, why they are so scared. US, again, we know, being a capitalistic country, today or tomorrow they are going to loosen up everything. They're going to ease out everything, and they are going to say yes to a lot of commercial activity. Other countries are still waiting. They are still making up their mind. A day before, I had a session where they were 14 of them are able to sell their AI generated images. Being an Indian, I'm the only one. The images that I showed you, the Virat Kohli's brand and the shoes one, I'm the only one amongst all 14 speakers who have actually sold AI generated images to client. They said in our country people are not buying. That's why they started selling courses. They said we are selling courses. We're teaching people because we can't sell our work. So we are selling our knowledge. So yeah, that's they're very scared of legal concerns. Okay, anyone else in the audience who wants to ask anything? Preeti, Priyanka, Mr. Srinivas, sir, anyone?
So, Tapan, I have a question. Like you said, you have designed these images 1 year back using Midjourney.
Yes.
So after that, we have seen some progress towards Sora AI and Imagen also from
Yes.
Google. And so do you think there are like changes, or they have developed something new, or some advancements have been done like from
Yes.
then and there?
Yes. There is a Chinese AI called Kling, Kling. Now,
Okay.
Kling is known to be a Sora killer. That's how they are marketing. They're saying that we are a Sora killer. And Chinese developers who have developed King, they are saying that whenever we are going to open it for free. We're not going to put any money to it. It'll be absolutely free for everyone forever.
So,
that's what they are saying.
And in Midjourney, like, do you have seen any improvements in the quality of the images or something like?
Yes. So the images that you saw,
Mhm.
where there's one finger, there's two finger,
Yes,
and
right.
then the entire illustration is made out of rock or mountain. We
Yes.
could not create it earlier in version 6. Just
Okay.
before 3 days, they have released version 6.1. The Midjourney 6.1 came out, which is now able to create a mountain shaped like a hand showing two finger or one finger. So yeah, that's a massive improvement from 6 to 6.1. A lot of anatomical deformities have gone,
Mhm.
on a micro level, if I have to say. If you zoom in so much, if you have to create an image of an extremely zoomed eye, okay, let's say nocturnal animals. Now, not all nocturnal animals have same eyes, even though they reflect, but they have different eye. So before, if you had to create an eye of an alligator and an eye of a dog, they would look a bit similar. Now they don't. Now there is absolute differentiation between an alligator and a dog's eye, though they both are nocturnal. So that level of precision we have achieved in Midjourney 6.1. Also, it have started understanding fabric. Now, let's say muslin.
Yes,
Muslin
right.
looks a bit like linen. It looks a lot like linen, but there is a minor difference when you touch. But when you see, but Midjourney 6.1 have been able to achieve that also. There are so many different type of fur that you can achieve. There's a there's a polar bear fur and there's a skunk fur. And they're very two different fur. One is brown, one is white. Even the thickness of the fur is very different. So that level of precision now we have in Midjourney 6.1, and of course they are going to release 6.2 and probably 7 and so on. So in video, currently Sora rules, but Sora they have not opened because they are trying to sell Sora to Hollywood, and Hollywood is also trying and influencing heavily to uh, not let Sora out to people like us. Because just imagine if I am sitting in this room, and making a Hollywood movie. That's not what they want.
Yeah, that's true.
So Sora is not coming out anytime sooner. But we are looking forward to Kling. Kling have started giving demos though, free demos. It's not out completely, but Kling is actually a Sora killer. It's a Chinese product, so you might have to be a little bit concerned about your data. But
Yes, that's true.
but they've actually reached to the Sora level.
So actually, these tools are evolving a lot.
A lot.
Because
Yeah.
yes, Sora, if they can create some Hollywood movies, so they
Yeah.
are getting realistic day by day.
Yeah. When I started using Midjourney, February 2022, the article got published that time. I don't remember who published it, but they said that currently Midjourney is trained on 500 million images.
Okay.
In February 2022.
22, right.
It's going to be 3 years now in next February. And in that article, they had mentioned that 500 million images is still 2% of global image data set available.
That's good.
So the machine, which is so accurate, is still trained only on 2%. There's 98%, 90% of data we've still yet to explore. There's so many images out there. And where all these images are coming from? When we all bought our first phone or second phone, third phone, fourth phone, and while setting up our iPhone or OnePlus or Samsung, we kept clicking on I agree. We kept clicking on I agree. So we all agreed to giving out our data. So that data is still out there. It's floating in the space, yet to get traced, get defragment and put into different boxes and train machine. So if we reach even 10% of global data set possibility, then we will have something more, something insane, if I have to use that word. So yeah, excited.
Excited and interested.
So,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Tapan.
yeah, thank you, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, Tapan. If there is anyone who has a question, we could take one last question. Otherwise, time to end
Yeah.
this.
Hey, Ankita said good night already.
Yeah. Okay. I think, Tapan, thank you so much for being here with us today. And it was quite an amazing session. And
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Sorry?
Eye-opening also in a lot of spaces.
Thank you. I hope I didn't bore anyone, by any mundane slides or any mundane already available knowledge repackaged.
Yeah.
Friendly. I hope I could add at least 1 or 2% to your
Oh,
knowledge.
absolutely. A lot of addition today. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tapan. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.